Good evening, everyone. Guys, if you can hear me properly and you can see me, please type yes in the chat box. Hello, Neeraj. Hello, Nilesh, Kartiki, Gaurav. Guys, if you can see me and hear me properly, please type yes in the chat box. Good afternoon, Ashwarya. Good afternoon, Keshav. Yes, you're saying that I'm audible and I'm visible to you properly. Okay. So today the session is going to be on the topic of Indian Contract Act and Depository Act. But the yesterday's session that was for income tax and GST, there is a correction I would like to make in that particular session. Okay. So there was a change in the rebate under section 87A. Okay. So a resident individual whose total income is less than rupees 5 lakh is entitled to a rebate on his total tax of an amount equal to 100% of income tax or 12,500, whichever is less. So this question by there was an amendment. Okay. Yesterday what I taught you was for the previous year, and for this year, current year, that the amount is 5 lakh. Okay. If your income is less than 5 lakh, then you shall be getting a rebate of 12,500 on your total taxes. Clear? Am I clear to you on this point? So this amendment I missed in yesterday's lecture. So is the point clear to you now? If a resident individual's total income is less than 5 lakh rupees, he shall be entitled to a rebate of 12,500 or 100% of his income tax, whichever is lower. Clear? Now one more important thing for you. What is the standard deduction allowed to a salaried employee? Okay, as you can see, this question is a very much question that is normally asked in the examination. Okay, so very important. That is why I mentioned it here. That 50,000 is the standard deduction allowed to salaried employees. Okay, in lieu of the transport allowance and the medical allowances, the salaried employees are given a deduction of rupees 50,000. Clear? This is a standard deduction. Clear, guys? So these two questions I would like you to know. I would like you to grasp it for the examination. Clear? So thank you very much. I'm starting with today's lecture. So this was just an information about yesterday's lecture. Okay, a correction note. Now today's lecture, guys. We are starting with the Indian Contract Act 1872. Clear? Guys, if you're having any doubt in the point I made you do for income tax, you can ask me in the chat box. We are talking about the Indian Contract Act 1872 now. So first of all, Indian Contract Act is a mercantile or commercial law. What do you mean by mercantile law or commercial law? See, there are different types of laws in India. Criminal laws, civil laws. Similarly, there is a law, commercial law. Okay. Some of the acts, that are Sale of Goods Act, Negotiable Instrument Act, they are classified as mercantile laws or commercial laws. So Indian Contract Act is also a mercantile or commercial law. Clear? So what I'm going to do today I shall be explaining you all the concepts, okay, about a particular topic. Then I shall be asking you the relevant questions. Okay. So for the students who are doing it for the very first time, it will be very easy. I shall be only asking the questions related to the topics I'm making you do. Clear? So I don't think there will be any scope of any query or any doubt. Still you have any query, you can ask me. Clear? First of all, proposal. What do you mean by proposal? Section 2A. Guys, for some of the important definition, you have to remember the section number also for Indian Contract Act. Okay. There are only 5 to 6 section numbers. So section 2A, it says that when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or to abstain from doing anything, he is said to make a proposal. Okay. I'm telling another person that I do not want to do this, or I'm saying that I want to do this. Clear? That is a proposal. That is a proposal. Proposal is also known as offer. Okay. The next definition is section 2B, promise. When the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to be accepted. Proposal when accepted becomes a promise. Okay. So promise is equals to when I'm making a proposal and the person to whom the promise is made, he is accepting it. Okay. That means it is promise. Clear? I'll give you an example. I'm making a proposal to a girl. Okay. I'm asking her that I want to marry you. if she accepts it, then it becomes a promise, because promise is from both the sides. If I'm making a proposal or I'm making an offer to a girl that I want to marry you, this is a proposal. But when she accepts it, it becomes a promise. Next is agreement. The term agreement is given in section 2E of the Act, is defined as every promise and every set of promises forming a consideration for each other is known as agreement. So agreement simply means promise plus consideration. Okay, what do you mean by consideration? Anything in return. Okay, so promise plus consideration is equals to agreement. So when promise is made, but the person to whom the promise is made and this person, okay, they both are paying consideration to each other. They both are paying consideration to each other. That means they are having an agreement. It is for general stream only. Next is contract. What do you mean by contract? The term contract is defined under section 2H of the Indian Contract Act 1872, and contract is an agreement enforceable by law. So contract, there are two terms when I am defining contract. One is agreement and another is enforceable by law. So agreement, I have told you the definition. Contract will be agreement plus enforceability by law. For example, if I'm asking a girl that I want to marry you, that is a proposal. When she accepts it, it becomes a promise. Now when we marry each other, okay, there is a legal enforceability of that. We have gone to the marriage registrar and we have signed the marriage certificate, and now we are married. Now we are a happy couple, we are married. So that becomes a contract. Okay, so two people who are living in a living relationship, are they having a contract or agreement, or are they having just promises? They are having just promises. There is no agreement between them, there is no contract between them, because contract means legal enforceability. Okay, contract means legal enforceability. Now in absence of legal enforceability, it is agreement, and agreement can be when two persons have something in writing. Okay, that is the agreement, that we are agreeing to both of the conditions. That is agreement. But when an agreement will become a contract, when it is having a legal enforceability. Clear? And legal enforceability, how it comes? When you are getting a particular document notarized, or when you are signing you can say when you are signing a deed and getting it submitted to the registrar, that is a contract. That becomes a legal enforceable contract. I'll give you two examples for legal enforceability. Example 1. A agrees with B to sell car for rupees 2 lakhs to B. Here A is under an obligation to give car to B, and B has the right to receive the car on payment of rupees 2 lakhs, and also B is under obligation to pay rupees 2 lakhs to A, and A has the right to receive 2 lakhs. The agreement has legal enforceability and is a contract. Okay, so A is saying to B that I'll sell you my car for rupees 2 lakhs. Now both the parties have an obligation to each other. First of all, both the parties having A has made a proposal to B, B has accepted it. Okay, so it becomes a promise. Now since there's a consideration also, A is selling the car, so the car is a consideration here, and B is paying 2 lakh rupees, so the money is the consideration here. So if A is agreeing to sell the car to B, now they are both having a proposal also, it is having a promise also, and it is having consideration also. It becomes an agreement. Now since they both are having an obligation, okay, and we are assuming here that they have got it legal enforceable. Okay, they have done this promise, or they have agreed to this particular point on written papers. Okay, and the papers have been notarized. So that means this agreement has legal enforceability and is a contract. But example number 2, try to understand it. Father promises his son to pay him pocket money of rupees 500 every month, but he refuses to pay later. The son cannot recover the same in court of law, as this is a social agreement. There are two types of agreement, guys. One is the legal agreement and another is the social agreement. Okay, I made a promise to my wife that I'll buy you a diamond necklace on the wedding anniversary. Okay, if I am not buying her the diamond necklace, can she take me to court? Can she sue me for that? No, she cannot. Okay, because this is a social agreement. She cannot sue me because there is no legal enforceability in such contract. This is not created with an intention to create legal relationship, and hence it is not a contract. So it can be said that all contracts are agreements, but all agreements are not contracts, because only the agreements which are having legal enforceability are contracts. The social agreements are not contracts. Clear? Shubham is saying, sir, does it have to be written, sir? No. Shubham, an agreement does not have to be a contract does not have to be always in writing. Clear? Kunal is saying, sir, eco है. So are you guys also facing some echo problem, or my voice is audible to you? Is my voice audible to you? If you are facing any audio issues, please let me know. Guys, are you having any audio issue? Let me know in the chat box. Now, legal enforceability. So the basic difference between agreement and contract. First of all, the most important difference is the legal enforceability. So meaning of agreement. Every promise and every set of promises forming the consideration for each other is known as agreement. That means promise plus acceptance is your agreement. Okay. Basically, of promise plus acceptance is not an agreement. Promise plus consideration. Here the word consideration should also be added. Okay. But contract is agreement enforceable by law. Agreement plus legal enforceability is your contract. Scope. Agreement is a wider term. I have told you that both legal and social agreements are there. Okay. But only the legal agreements are contracts. The social agreements are not contracts. Legal obligation. It may not create legal obligation. An agreement does not always grant right to the parties. Okay. I have given you the example. I have promised my wife that I will be buying you a diamond necklace. But does she have a right on a diamond necklace? If I do not buy her the diamond necklace, can she take me to the court? No. This does not have any right to enforce. Okay. But contract gives a legal right to my wife. Okay. If I've done a contract with my wife, okay, that we will be legal partners in our business. Okay. So I have a contract with her, and she can take me to the court if I do not share the profits of my company or my firm with her. Okay, so that is having a legal contract. A contract always grants certain rights to every party. Nature. All agreements are not contract, but all contracts are agreement. So agreement is a wider term, and contract is a you can say it is not as wide as agreement, and all contracts are agreement. Okay, so contract is a term within the agreement. Clear? I am audible to you. Okay, it's fine. Next is essentials of a valid contract. So very important slide, guys. See, what I'm making you do is the most important part of Indian Contract Act. Indian Contract Act, if you go into much detail, it is also a very big topic. It's a very vast topic. But in the examination, basic questions are asked from Indian Contract Act, and most of the question can be solved by common sense also. Okay. So essential of a valid contract. First of all, it should be an agreement. Okay, I have told you that all contracts are agreement, so it should be an agreement. Next is the object should be legal. The objective of the contract should be legal. I will not do a contract to murder someone. Okay, the objective to murder someone is not a legal object. Okay, it is unlawful to murder someone or to beat someone. So that is the object should be legal. Next is possibility of performance. It should be possible to perform the contract. Okay, if you make a contract with a person that you have to walk on water, okay, that is not possible. So there should be the possibility of performance. Okay, or if you make a contract with a person that you have to go to the Mars. Okay, so there is no possibility of performance, so such contracts are not valid. Then is lawful consideration. The consideration should also be lawful. I cannot pay anyone in drugs. Okay, because drugs is an unlawful consideration. So the consideration for a valid contract should also be lawful. Then contract should have two parties. I cannot make a contract with myself. There should be at least two parties for a contract. Okay, I cannot make a contract. I cannot say that okay, if on Valentine's Day I'll buy myself a luxury gift. That is not a valid contract. Next is competency of parties. Both the parties should be competent. That means both the parties should not be minor. Both the parties should not be lunatic. Lunatic means they both should not be mad. Okay. At the time of making the contract, they should not be drunk. Okay. And about the competencies of parties, I will be discussing in much detail in this video only. But essential of valid contract, the most important is that they should be competent. One of the point is they should be of sound mind. They should not be lunatic, and they should not be minor. Next is the valid contract. It should not be declared void by law. So if you are making for example, there is a war between India and Pakistan. So during that time, if the government says that you cannot make a contract with any Pakistani person, and if you make a contract with the Pakistani person, it will be declared void. Okay, so it is not a valid contract. Many times you might have seen that during the wars or during some stress with China. Okay, government of India bans some Chinese products. So if you are still doing a contract with the Chinese company, that will not be a valid contract. Next is free consent. Okay, when you are making a contract, it should be with free consent. That means that, okay, you are asking me that, sir, we want to study from you, so please teach us this topic. That is, if I am teaching you a particular topic, we are having a contract. I'll teach you some topic and you will pay me for that. Okay, so that means we both are doing it according to our free will. If you put a gun on my head, okay, and you ask me that, sir, if you won't teach us, we will. Okay, so that simply means that if under coercion or under any undue influence or by force or by blackmailing, okay, you are asking the person to sign the contract, that will be without free consent. Okay, so that will also not be a valid contract. So there should be free consent, free will, and the person should be doing the contract according to their own will. Next is fulfillment of legal formalities. So there are some legal formalities that you should get it signed, you should get it notarized, it should be on A size, A4 size paper or A3 size paper. Okay, you should get it attested by a gazetted officer. So all the legal formalities should be fulfilled. Next is certainty of meaning, very important. What do you mean by certainty of meaning? Certainty of meaning means that, okay, I have done a contract with you guys that I'll supply you with oil. Okay, you pay me 1 lakh rupees, I'll supply you with oil. So does this sound proper? No, because I have not specified that which oil I will be supplying to you, how much quantity I will be supplying to you, where I will be supplying to you. You had paid me 1 lakh, okay, but I supplied you a 20 rupees pack of coconut oil. So that is it is not a certain. So there should be certainty of meaning. Okay, there should be absolute certainty about the consideration and also about the what I am providing to you. Now, guys, one more important thing. What do you mean by consideration? Consideration is not always in money. Okay, if I am giving you oil, okay, and you are paying me money, so oil is the consideration for you, and money is the consideration for me. Consideration means anything in return. Okay, consideration does not mean always in money. Consideration means anything in return. So for you, what is the consideration? Oil. And for me, what is the consideration? Money. Okay, so there should be absolute certainty regarding the object, regarding the consideration, regarding the parties, regarding the consent, okay, regarding the formalities. Okay, there should be certainty of meaning. You cannot make a contract without any or with uncertainties. Am I clear to you? Guys, this is the most important slide of the contract. Okay, many questions will be asked from this slide only. So if you are having any doubt in this particular slide, ask me now. If you guys are having any doubt in this particular slide, please ask me. And if you have understood everything till here, please hit the like button. And let me know in the chat box. If you have any doubt, then ask me. If you do not have any doubt, let me know in the chat box. If you do not have any doubt, I will be moving forward. Manu Pratap is saying I'm not able to purchase your online courses. Okay. Manu Pratap, in the description box, our number is given and our email ID is also given. Okay. So you can write to us at the email ID or you can call us at 8146207241. The phone number and the email ID is given at the description box. At the end of the description box. Okay. Okay. Sai saying lawful consideration, repeat sir once. Okay. Lawful consideration. Consideration means what I am paying you in return. You have said that, sir, please teach us. Okay. Okay. And we shall be paying you in drugs. So drugs is not a lawful consideration. Okay. Anything which the law does not allow. The law does not say that you can pay anyone in drugs. You can pay anyone in gold, you can pay in money, you can pay in silver. But you cannot pay in drugs. Okay. So the consideration should be lawful. Okay. Another example is we are saying that, sir, if you teach us this particular subject, what we shall be doing is we shall be beating your enemy or we shall be killing your enemy. Here the consideration is unlawful. Killing someone or beating someone is unlawful. So that should not be a consideration. Okay. So for a valid contract, the consideration should be legal and lawful. And one student has asked me about certainty of meaning. Certainty of meaning is when you are making a contract with someone, the terms and conditions should not be uncertain. The quantity, the values, the parties, it should be completely crystal and clear, and there should be no confusion regarding that. I have given you an example. If you guys make a contract with me and you say that, sir, please pay 1 lakh, I'll pay you 1 lakh, okay, and in return you shall be paying me oil. Now here I am not specified how much oil will be paid or how much oil will be given. Okay, so there should be quantity, quality, of which quality should be there. Okay, should be there that sir, for 1 lakh rupees we shall be supplying you with 100 tons of oil, which will be of A grade quality of this company, and we shall be supplying you on day after tomorrow. So there should be complete certainty. Okay, the meaning should be certain. There should not be any confusion. There should not be any uncertainty in the contract. I hope you got it. Sir, you have said that what is not declared by law. Okay, not declared void by law. Okay, void means which is not legal, which is not valid. So there are certain contracts which the government says that you cannot do such contract. Okay, and one of it is doing a contract with a country with which India does not allow. For example, during the stress with other countries. For example, India says, okay, that you cannot make a contract with any Chinese person, and still you make a contract with a Chinese person. So that is not a valid contract. Clear? Now, competence of parties. Every person is competent to contract who is of the age of majority according to the law to which he is subject. That means he should be major. He should not be a minor. In India, the age of majority is 18 years of age. Okay. So if he has crossed the 18 years of age, then he should be competent to contract. Second is he should be of sound mind. Sound mind means he should not be mad. He should not be lunatic. And third is he should not be disqualified from contracting by any law to which he is subject. Okay, the government of India does not make him or does not specifically say that he is disqualified. Okay, otherwise these guys are competent. Okay, so every major person who is of sound mind, okay, and is not expressively disqualified by the government, they can do the contracts. Clear? Now I have some question for you. An agreement enforceable by law is a dash: promise, agreement, contract, or lawful promise. An agreement enforceable by law is a dash: promise, agreement, contract, or lawful promise. I have received some answers. 34 students are online, but 3 students have given the answer. So hurry up, guys. Absolutely correct. An agreement enforceable by law is a contract. Okay. Next is the topic of types of contracts. The contracts can be divided on the basis of validity, okay, or on the basis of formation, or on the basis of performance. Guys, this is also a very important topic. So first of all, according to validity or enforceability, contracts can be valid contracts or voidable contracts or illegal contracts or unenforceable contracts. Okay, according to validity, contracts can be divided into 5 types. Next is formation. According to formation, contract can be either express contracts, implied contract, quasi contract, or e-commerce contract. And last is performance contract. Performance. On the basis of performance, it can be either executed contract, executory contract, unilateral contract, or bilateral. Okay, unilateral and bilateral are subtypes of executory only. Am I clear? Okay. In the question, in the examination, the question that are normally asked is they shall be specifying a type of contract, and they shall be asking whether the contract is valid or void or express or implied or quasi. Okay. So these type of questions are normally seen in the examination. So it is very important to understand the types of contracts. First of all, I am defining the types of contract according to validity or enforceability. First is the valid contract. An agreement which is binding and enforceable is a valid contract. Valid contract, the image of contract you are having, okay, that the feature I have let you know, it should be free consent, lawful consideration, lawful object. It should be minimum 2 parties shall be there. It should not be declared void by law. Okay, if it satisfies all the conditions, okay, that I have listed in the previous slides, okay, then it is a valid contract. If it specifies all the conditions, okay, that it should be not declared void, it should be having free consent, it should be having lawful consideration, lawful object, then it will be a valid contract. A asks B if he wants to buy his bike for rupees 10,000. B agrees to buy the bike. It is an agreement which is enforceable by law, hence it is a valid contract. The normal contract which is satisfying all the features that I have specified will be a valid contract. Now, what do you mean by a void contract? A contract which ceases to be enforceable by law becomes void when it ceases to be enforceable. Okay, void contracts are which is not satisfying the provision that I have given below, that are given in the previous slide. Okay, so if the contract was without, you can say without free consent, okay, then it is void. Okay, or if the contract was having any illegal objective, then it is void. If it was having any illegal consideration, then it is void. Okay, or if you're doing a contract with a lunatic person, okay, then it will be void. So I'm giving you an example. Mr. X agrees to write a book with a publisher. Such contract is valid. But after few days, X died in an accident. Here the contract becomes void due to the impossibility of performance of the contract. I have specified some particular condition. In that condition, it was written that the contract should be possible. Okay, there should be possibility of performance. Now you cannot do a contract with that person. Okay, it cannot be executed since the person has died now. So there is impossibility of performance, and that is why the contract becomes void. Clear? Next is voidable contract. An agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more parties thereto, but not at the option of other. So void contract which does not satisfy any of the conditions. Valid is which satisfy all the conditions. But voidable contracts are which is enforceable by one party, but the second party has a right to make it either valid or either void. Okay, one party has a right either to make it valid or void. For example, X promises to sell his scooter to Y for rupees 1 lakh. However, the consent of X has been procured by Y at a gunpoint. Okay, X is an agreed party and the contract is voidable at his option, but not at the option of Y. It means if X accepts the contract becomes a valid contract, then Y has no option of rescinding the contract. So when the contract, listen me carefully, when the contract is enforceable by law at the option of one party, that is a voidable contract. Suppose you come to me, okay, you say that sir, teach us, otherwise we will be shooting you. Okay, teach us, or otherwise we shall be shooting you. So that is you have signed the contract without my free consent. So it is enforceable on your part, but on my part, okay, if I am teaching you, okay, and now what happens is someone asks me that have you signed the contract, okay, with your free will or without your free consent. Now if I say that I have signed the contract without my free will, then it will be void contract. But if I say that I have signed the contract with my free consent, then it will be a valid contract. So it is at the option of me. If the contract is at my option, then either I can make it valid or void, okay, then it will be a voidable contract. Voidable contract means it has the ability to be declared void. Okay, it has not been declared void as of now, but it has a ability to be declared void. Shubhapal is saying, sir, shouldn't this be void due to absence of free consent? Yes, it should be. Hear it once again, okay. It can be void when it is proved that the consent was not free. Okay, it can be void if it is proved that the consent was not free. If I myself say that, okay, it is at that position, you have come to me to sign an agreement. You have come to me to sign an agreement. Now, the agreement at the time of signing, okay, you have put a gun on my head and I sign the agreement. Okay, but when I go to court, okay, to get that particular document notarized or to submit it to the registrar asks me that have you signed this particular contract in your free will or with your free consent or without your free consent. Now at that stage, this contract is voidable because I have to decide. Okay, I have to just answer him that it was signed with free consent or without free consent. So at that stage, it is voidable. Okay, I can make it void, I can make it valid. If I say that my free consent was there, then it will be valid. If I say my free consent was not there, then it will be void. So at that stage, when the person has asked me and I have not given the answer, at that time it is a voidable agreement. It is a voidable agreement. Clear? Clear? Voidable agreement is clear to you? Next is illegal contract. It is a contract with the law forbids to made. Okay. I have made a contract with a supplier in China that kindly smuggle some goods to India. Okay, these goods are not allowed to India. Kindly smuggle them. Kindly smuggle the goods to India. So it is an illegal contract because smuggling is not allowed. The law has forbidden this, so it will be an illegal contract. And last is unenforceable contract. When a contract is good in substance, but because of some technical defect, it cannot be enforced. Okay, because of some technical defect, it cannot be enforced. For example, A bought goods from B in 2015, but no payment was made till 2019. B cannot sue A for the payment in 2019, and it has crossed the 3 years and barred by Limitation Act. What happens is there is a Limitation Act in India. Okay, according to that, if a debt has not been paid within 3 years, okay, then the debtor need not pay it to the creditor. Okay, if you want to collect the debt, okay, within 3 year time period you have to collect it. If the person is not paying you the debt within 3 years time period, you have to sue him in the court. If you are not suing him also, if you are not filing a case against him, then what you have to do, then you cannot ask for the debt. You cannot ask for the debt because the Limitation Act says that you cannot ask for the debt after 3 years period. Clear? So he has bought the goods in 2015, but no payment was made till 2019. Now, after 2019, B does not have a right to take him to the court. He has a right only between the first 3 years. Okay, after that time period, he does not have a right because it is barred by Limitation Act. So it is an unenforceable contract. This contract is legal. Okay, this is legal. This was a valid contract. Okay, this was not, okay. This was a valid contract, but it cannot be enforced because the law has given you a time period, and after that time period you are going to the court. So it is an unenforceable contract. Got it? Any doubt till here? Any doubt in this particular slide? Is anyone having any doubt in valid contract, voidable contract, illegal or unenforceable contract? No doubt. Clear? Next is express contract. Express contract are those contracts which are clearly expressed either in writing or in words. If I am making an agreement with you, either it is in writing, okay, then it is properly expressed, either it is oral, then also it is an express contract. Do not confuse express contract with written contract. Even if it is an oral contract, then also it is an express contract. Okay, so a contract need not be always in writing. An oral contract can also be a valid contract. Clear? An express contract means which are clearly expressed in words or in writing. Next is implied contracts. Implied contracts come into existence by action or conduct of parties or course of dealings between them. Now, what do you mean by implied contracts? Okay, I'll give you an example. Uh, Near my house, there's a shopkeeper. Okay, he's selling karyana or confectionery. So my mother asked me to buy 1 kg of wheat flour from him. Okay, I went to him. Okay, I asked for a 1 kg of wheat flour. He gives me. I take it. I went back home. Okay, and every month we settle the accounts. Okay, we buy the products on credit, and every month we settle the accounts. So this is an implied contract. Okay, that because this is implied that when I have come to him, okay, when I come to him to buy something, it is my duty to pay him. Okay, either I shall be paying him at this time or I shall be paying him after a month. So this is an implied contract. This is a implied contract. Clear? Implied contract is comes into existence by action or conduct of parties. I have asked him to give me 1 kg of wheat flour. Okay. I'll take the wheat flour and I'll go back to my home. So there is an automatic contract that afterwards I shall be paying him. So this is an implied contract. Nothing oral. There was no conversation between us that okay, I shall be paying you for this particular wheat flour after a month. No, there was no oral communication. There was no written communication. I just asked for a particular thing. I got it and I went back home. So this is an implied contract. Next is tacit contract. Tacit contract is a type of implied contract only. It is okay. It is subtype of implied contract. Tacit contracts are those that are inferred through the conduct of parties without any words spoken or written. Okay, very important. Have you ever been to a five-star hotel or have you ever been to a nightclub? Okay, there you might have seen valet parking. So what happens is you go to the nightclub, okay, and you take your car to the entrance of the nightclub, okay. Then you come out, you are having your keys in your hand, okay. You place the keys near the valet parking, okay. The person who is coordinating the valet parking, you place your keys there, and you went in and you go inside the nightclub. So this is a tacit contract. You did not say anything, nothing written was there. But what happens is, are you selling the car to him? No. That automatically means you are giving the keys to him. He shall be taking it to the parking, okay, and he shall be taking care of your car. And when he will be coming out of the nightclub, the person, the valet parking guy, he shall be bringing the car from the parking to the entrance. So that is known as a tacit contract. Okay, they are done by conduct of parties. Conduct means that you have placed your keys at the near the guy who was doing the valet parking. So this is a tacit contract. Clear? Next is a quasi contract. It is a contract in which there is no intention on part of either party to make a contract, but law imposes a contract upon the parties. Okay, quasi contract means that there is no specific intention of both the parties. Okay, this is basically a moral, you can say, a moral type of contract. Okay, so quasi contract, there is no such nothing such as a written contract. There was no oral contract here. Okay, there is no consideration also sometimes in quasi contract. So quasi contract lacks a lot of features of a proper valid contract. I'll give you an example. Suppose you were going on a road, you were walking on the road, and you find a wallet there. Okay, you pick that wallet, you open the wallet. Okay, and there you can see money, you can see credit cards, and along with the credit card there was an Aadhaar card of a person in which their details were written. Okay, his phone number was also written there. So now it becomes your duty to return this particular wallet to that particular person. Okay, that is a moral thing. Okay, and law also says that. So this is a quasi contract. There was no contract between you and that particular person. You do not know that particular person. There might not be any consideration also. If you return the wallet to that person, there might not be any consideration also. But this is a quasi contract. This is a quasi contract. Next is e-contract. Okay, when a contract is entered into by two or more parties using electronic means such as emails, okay, that is known as e-commerce contract. So the best way of e-contract is these days, all the contracts are done through emails or through WhatsApp. Okay, so if you are using digital means for making out contract, then it will be your e-commerce contract. Okay, many times also if you are filling your SEBI examination form, what you have done, you have filled the SEBI examination form, and what how you've done it, you have filled the form online, you have made the payment online. So that means you and the SEBI department, they're having a contract that you have already enrolled for it. Okay, and you have provided the consideration, the money you have provided, and the consideration what they shall be providing, they shall be giving you admit card, and they shall be giving you all the atmosphere, they shall be making you eligible to sit in the examination. So this is the consideration between you two. Okay, so e-contract is done through digital means. Clear? Now one student has asked me, sir, what is the difference between implied and tacit contracts? First of all, tacit contract is a type of implied contract only. Okay, tacit contract is a type of implied contract only. So the example I have given you, okay, that is basically for tacit contract only. Okay, for implied contract there can be more example also. Okay, uh, see what happens in normal markets. In normal markets, what happens? If you have traded in shares, so in stock exchanges, those who are doing day-to-day trading, you call the broker. Okay, you say buy 100 shares for me. You cut your phone. Okay, sell 100 shares for me. You cut your phone. So that means you have asked him to buy 100 shares on your behalf. That means there is an implied contract. You shall be paying him. You shall be paying him. So this is an implied contract. Clear? Now let me see your query. If you are having any queries till now, please ask me. Gaurav is asking, but how come that without any consideration, quasi contract exists? Earlier you told that consideration is a must. I've told you, Gaurav, that in quasi contract is not a proper contract. Quasi contract lacks some features of contracts. Okay, so quasi contract cannot be called as a valid contract, but there is a social obligation, there is a moral obligation of you. Okay, if you find a wallet, it creates a moral obligation on you to return that wallet back to that person. Okay, so that is a quasi contract. Quasi contract, quasi word automatically means which lacks some features. Okay, so quasi contract can lack any feature of the contract. And Anupam is asking, in implied, you use words to convey something to other person, and in turn, he will perform some act, but in tacit, neither you nor the other person use any words. Yeah, that is a, you can say that can also be inferred from this particular definition. Okay, I have given you the examples. That examples are the best to describe this type of contracts. Now, is everything clear to you? Okay, after I teach you all the types of contract, I shall be giving you some example, and you have to identify which type of contract I've given you the question. Okay. Next is executed contract. Executed contract means the consideration in a contract should be an act or forbearance. Okay. Consideration should be anything in return. But when the act is done or executed or the forbearance is brought on record, then the contract is an executed contract. When both the parties, okay, have done their acts. Okay. Suppose I have made a contract with you that I'll buy your house for 1 lakh. Okay. I have given you 1 lakh rupees and you have signed the registration paper and you have sold the house to me. Now both the parties have done their bit. Okay. Both the parties have satisfied their conditions. So that means it is a executed contract. Executed contract basically means when both the parties have performed their functions. Next is executory contract. Executory contract means in which one party has done his function but another party is not done his function. Okay. In an executory contract, the consideration is reciprocal promise or obligation. Such consideration is to be performed in future only, and therefore these contracts are described as executory contracts. Executory contracts maybe both the parties have done their bit or one party has done their bit. Okay. So within executory contract, there are two types of contract. One is unilateral contract and other is bilateral contract. Okay. So the example of unilateral is we have done a contract that I'll buy your house for 1 lakh rupees. Okay. I have made you the payment. Okay. But you have not transferred the house to me yet. So that is a unilateral executory contract. One party has done his bit, another party has to do it. Okay. So that is an executory unilateral contract. Another is bilateral contract. Okay. I have done an agreement with you that I shall be buying your house in the month of April for rupees 1 lakh. Okay. Now neither I have given you the consideration, neither you have given me the neither you have transferred the house to me. So that is a bilateral contract in which both the parties have not fulfilled their obligation. Okay. In executed contract, what happens is both the parties have performed their function. In executory, okay, within executory there are two types. Either unilateral. In unilateral, one party has performed this function, one party has not performed, and bilateral executory contract, both the parties have not performed the functions. Okay, that is a bilateral executory contract. Guys, am I clear to you now? If you are having any doubt till now, please let me know. If you guys are having any doubt in today's session, please let me know. Clear? Okay, now some question for you. A void agreement is one which is dash valid but not enforceable, enforceable at the option of both the parties, enforceable at the option of one party, or not enforceable in a court of law. What do you mean by a void agreement? Which is valid but not enforceable, enforceable at the option of both the parties, enforceable at the option of one party, or not enforceable in a court of law. Shubham is asking, what does the first line executory mean? The first line means, Shubham, that what I have to pay. Okay. You can first of all you can ignore that line also. Uh, in executory, it means that there's a promise between both the parties. Okay, I have made a promise to you that I shall be paying you something, and you have made a promise to me that you shall be paying me something. So there's a reciprocal promise. Okay, there's a reciprocal promise between us. My promise to you is that I will be paying you 1 lakh. Your promise to me is that you will be paying me, you will be transferring your house to me. Okay, a void agreement is one which is dash. Some are saying C, some are going with D, and Madhur Khanna said A. Some are going with A also. Guys, very bad on your part. Yeah, I've taught to you now only. The correct answer is D. Void agreement is one which is not enforceable in the court of law. How can it be A? How can it be A? Void agreement cannot be valid. And how can it be C? Vivek has answered C. Vivek, how C is possible? Kasturi, how B is possible? Void agreement cannot be enforceable. Okay, void agreement cannot be enforceable, guys. Am I not clear to you? Aren't you getting what I'm trying to teach you, guys? Guys, am I clear to you? If you're having any doubt, I will be repeating it for you. But let me know why have you given the wrong answer for this particular question. I did not expect this. No, mother. Your explanation is wrong. Let me make it clear to you. A void agreement can never be valid. Okay. A void agreement can never be valid. Okay. I am asking for a time it has already been declared void. I am asking for the time it has already been declared void. Okay. So void agreement is one which is not at all enforceable in a court of law. In the examination also what happens is you can get confused between 2 to 3 options. Okay, but you have to select the best option from them. Here it is void agreement. I'm not saying it is void agreement or void of issue. See, A cannot be the correct answer here. The most apt answer for this question will be D only. Okay. Ria has also answered. Ria has given option A. It cannot be A. There are a lot of examples of void contract, and void contract can never be enforceable in a court of law. We think because a small question was asked in EduTap free mock test. I did not attend this lecture from beginning. I just joined and now I'm leaving again. Vivek, I did not get you. Why you just joined and why are you leaving again? I did not get you what you're trying to ask. Option C also say that it is a valid agreement. Okay, let me make it clear to you. A void agreement, can a void agreement be valid anytime? No. Mother, it cannot be valid at all. Okay. And you are saying that D should be for illegal agreement. If it is an illegal agreement, okay, all illegal contracts are void. Are you supporting me on this? All illegal agreements are void. All agreements, all illegal agreements are void. Because when I've taught you the point, the characteristics for valid contract, the point was that it should not be illegal. Okay. If it is illegal, then it is illegal also. It is void also. All illegal agreements are void. Okay. So that is why D will be the correct answer here. Okay, Madhur? Am I clear to you guys? Next is an agreement which is enforceable by law at the option of one or more of the parties thereon, but not at the option of other or others is a dash. Valid contract, voidable contract, or illegal contract. Madhur, we are not having so much time. We are running short of time. I will be giving you the PDF in the Telegram channel. You can see the PDF from there, and after the end of the video will be available to you on YouTube. Okay, so you can see the video again. Anuradha, it is clear to you. Most of the students are saying it is voidable. C. Yes, the correct answer is C. Voidable. Next is when the consent of a party is not free, the contract is dash void, valid, voidable, illegal. When the consent of the party is not free, the contract is void, valid, voidable, illegal. Nilesh has written voidable. Moonlit has written void. So you're confused between void and voidable. Okay. I've given you the example also when I was teaching you. You're confused between void and voidable. That is the main thing, guys. In the examination also, these type of small confusions are there. It is voidable. Sorry, I made a mistake here in writing. It is voidable. It is voidable. Okay. Consent of party is not free. The contract is voidable. Okay, because it is at the option of that party. He can declare the contract void also. He can declare the contract valid also. Madhu, you cannot assume the thing, na? I have not told you that the party has given has said that his consent was free or his consent was not free. You cannot assume. When this type of language is written in the examination, the examiner wants to ask at the time of examination that he does not know whether the consent was free or not free. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you, okay, you can make any assumption, but for your knowledge. Okay, when I'm making you do for the examination, the examiner has a certain set of language, a certain set of word that he will be using. And for that certain set of words, the relevant answers would be this. Okay. You cannot make your own assumptions different from the assumptions of your examiner. Am I clear to you? Because the language I'm using in this particular questions, these questions have already been asked in some PSU examinations. Okay. And this language is used. So the examiner also takes the question from such examiner from such books only or from such question papers only. Clear? Clear? नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज टाइप्स ऑफ ऑफर. मोहित सर सभी नोटिफिकेशन में मेंस के लिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है चैप्टर 7 to 10 लिखा है और जो क्वेश्चन आप करा रहे हैं ये चैप्टर 2 के क्वेश्चंस हैं. सभी नोटिफिकेशन में मेंस के लिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है चैप्टर 7 to 10 लिखा है. जो क्वेश्चन आप करा रहे हैं वो चैप्टर 2 के क्वेश्चंस हैं. कुछ भी बेसिक पूछा जा सकता है मोहित, क्योंकि फेज 1 में भी कुछ बेसिक पूछे गए थे तो हम वो चीज भी कवर कर रहे हैं. Niharika, I told you illegal contracts are which does not have a legal binding. A contract to do smuggling is an illegal contract. Okay, a contract to murder someone is an illegal contract. Next are types of offer. So offer is basically categorized into 5 types: general offer, specific offer, cross offer, counter offer, or standing offer. Okay. So when I talk about general offer and proposal are one and the same thing. General offer means it is an offer made to public at large and hence anyone can accept and do the desired act. Okay. What happens is you might have read on railway stations or on bus stands about missing persons. Okay. So there is written something on the newspapers or on the pamphlets in the railway stations that this person is missing. If you find this particular person, contact us and we shall be paying you 1 lakh rupees. Okay. If you find this particular person, so this is a general offer. This is not made to a specific person. Anyone who finds the person, that means he's at a contract with a particular person who has given a pamphlet, and if that person will find the person, the missing person, he can get the amount of 1 lakh rupees. So this is a general offer. So Priya, I am saying contract tag नहीं लिखा. फेज 1 एग्जामिनेशन में कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछे गए थे. आउट ऑफ सिलेबस आ गए थे, तो कवर करे या ना करे बताओ? क्लियर? क्लियर? Next is specific offer. A offer made to a specific person, okay, or an a certain person. It is known as specific offer. You have made a contract with me only to teach this particular subject. In my place, if you get another teacher, okay, then that will be a not a specific offer. So specific offer is with a particular person only. Okay, if a person with whom the contract is made, with whom the offer is made, okay, he declines it, then the offer is invalid. General offer is that general public at large, anyone can accept it, but specific offer or special offer is that with a specific person only. Next is cross offer. This is very important. When two parties exchange identical offers in ignorance at the time of each other's offer, the offers are called cross offers. ठीक है? So cross offer. Take an example. Okay. Listen to the example carefully. I want to buy your house. I am saying, okay, I have written a letter to you that I want to buy your house. If you will sell your house to me, I will be happy to buy it for rupees 10 lakh. Okay. So I have given you this offer, and at the same time, I have written this letter to you because I could not call you. I have written this letter to you and I posted this letter to you. Okay. You did not receive the letter yet, but you also wanted to sell your house to me. Okay. You wanted to sell your house to me. You have written to me that I want to sell my house for rupees 10 lakh. Would you like to buy it? So that means two parties, okay, who were not who were ignorant to each other's offer. Two parties who were ignorant to each other's offer, they made the same offer to each other. Okay, that will be known as cross offers. At the time of making my offer, I was not knowing your offer. At the time of making you were making offer to me, you were not aware of my offer. Okay, and you both made the same offer. The consideration was same, the object was same. Okay, then that means it is a cross offer. It is very important. If you say that you want to sell your house for 9 lakh, okay, but I have written 10 lakh, okay, I want to buy it for 10 lakh, then this will not be a cross offer. For cross offer, the amount should also be same. The amount should also be same. Clear? Next is counter offer. Counter offer, when the offer offers to qualified acceptance of the offer subject to modification and variation in the terms of original offer, is said to have made a counter offer. Counter offer amounts to rejection of the original offer. It is also called as conditional acceptance. So what happens in counter offer? Suppose I am making an offer to you that I want to sell my property to you for rupees 10 lakh. Okay, this is my offer, and obviously you will be doing some bargaining with me. So you are making me a counter offer that I want to buy your property for rupees 8 lakhs. Now what happens? Okay, when I am making an offer and you are countering my offer, okay, now you are making the offer to me but subject to some modifications. Okay, in the original offer I made you an offer and the other party is replying to that offer but with some modification, with some changes, then that will be counter offer. Now when counter offer is done, you are making me a counter offer, then automatically my original offer is declined or my original offer is rejected. Clear? And this counter offer is also known as conditional acceptance. This counter offer is also known as conditional acceptance. Clear? Next is standing offer or open offer. An offer which is allowed to remain open for acceptance over a period of time is known as a standing offer. Standing offer means, for example, I have made a tender. Okay, I am a company and I want to in government department normally what happens is government department issues tenders. Okay, and the tender is open for approximately 10 days, 15 days. So anyone can raise a quotation. Okay, and we shall be choosing the least amount of quotation, and we shall be giving the tender to that person. So standing offer, okay, is an offer which remains open for a particular period of time, and anyone can apply in the standing offer. Now, guys, I would like to reply to a student. I guess Madhur Khanna. Okay, Madhur, try to understand here. Okay, this standing offer. Okay, when it is made available to all the people. Okay, this is a standing offer also, and it is a general offer also. So one type of offer or one particular offer can be a part of more than one offer also. Okay, this offer that I have made you. Okay, that tender that are open in the market, they are standing offers. And specifically, they are standing offers. Okay, but when the words are used tender, okay, or when you can say when the company issues shares, okay, so the subscription list is open for a particular period of time. So when the language used in the examination is the offer is open for a period of time, then it will be standing offer. But it also satisfies conditions for general offer. Okay. But for the examiner, for the satisfaction of the examiner ego, we shall be taking standing offer only. Are you getting what I am trying to say? For the satisfaction of the ego of the examiner, because he wants to test us, because specifically he's talking about the standing offer. Am I clear to you? One particular offer can satisfy the conditions of two offers also, but we have to see in the examination that which option is the most apt and suitable, and we have to take that. Clear? Any doubt till here? Any doubt to anyone in the proposals or types of offer? Yes, sir. Okay. Now next is revocation of offer. How can the offer be revoked? If revocation means how can the offer be cancelled? Okay. So offer can be cancelled on the following ways. First is by notice of revocation. You have made an offer to me, okay, and before letting me know, you have revoked that offer. Okay. How can you do that? You have written a WhatsApp to me, okay, and I have not read the WhatsApp yet, but you have deleted the message. So that means revocation of offer. Okay. On WhatsApp you have made an offer to me. Okay, that is an offer, but you have deleted the message before I could see it. You have deleted the message before I could see it. That means by notice of revocation. Okay, or it can be offer has made. I have made my acceptance also, but after that you have revoked it before it becomes legal enforceable. Okay, a contract is legally enforceable, but promise is not legally enforceable. So you have made an offer to me, I have accepted it, but after that you have revoked it. Okay, you have given me notice that I cannot do it. At that time it was not legally enforceable. Okay, so you can even revoke it before it comes to my knowledge or after it comes to my knowledge. Next is by lapse of time. You have given me time that if I want to accept that offer, I have to communicate it to you back within 1 hour. Okay, but I could not communicate it to you within 1 hour, so that means the offer has been automatically revoked. Madhur is saying that I got it, but my doubt about void and illegal still remains. We'll clarify later. I've told you all the illegal contracts are void agreements. Okay, all illegals are void, but all void are not illegal. Clear? Next is by the non-acceptance of the offer according to the prescribed or usual mode. Okay, you have made an offer to me, and you asked me to communicate it to you through email or through telecommunication. But I wrote a letter to you. So you specified in that offer that if I want to communicate my non-acceptance to you, okay, if I want to communicate my acceptance or non-acceptance to you, I will be communicating it to you through the usual mode. Sorry, by the non-acceptance of the offer according to the prescribed usual mode. Okay, it is that uh, you have written it to me that if you have to accept the offer, let me know. Okay, if you will not let me know, if you do not want to accept it, okay, then let me know. You have to reply me on phone. You have to reply me on email, etc. Okay. Now, I have written it back to you that I do not want to accept it. I have declined the offer. So that is non-acceptance. If I have communicated my non-acceptance to you, I have communicated my declines to you, so that will be non-acceptance of offer according to prescribed mode. It will be also a mode of revocation of offer. Next is by the non-fulfillment of condition precedent. So it means you have made me an offer that I'll give you 1 lakh rupees. Okay, okay, we can draft an example for it. There was a condition attached to the offer. Okay, if I satisfy that condition, then only the offer will be valid. If I satisfy that condition, then only the offer will be valid. So what happens is you have made an offer to me, okay, that I'll pay you 2 lakhs. I'll pay you 2 lakhs if I and my girlfriend have the children within 2 years of my marriage. Okay, if I and my girlfriend have children within 2 years of our marriage, then you will be paying me 1 lakh rupees. Now what happens is there was a condition precedent. to that. What was the condition? We can have the children after the marriage only. Okay, but my girlfriend got married to another person. The condition precedent means the condition which was for the fulfilling condition for that was not fulfilled. Okay, so automatically the offer got revoked. Next is by death or insanity. The person making the offer, okay, he died or he became insane. Insane means he became mad or lunatic. By counter offer, when you have made me an offer, but I have made you a counter offer. I told you in the previous slide also, when the counter offer is made, the original offer is cancelled or revoked. Last is by subsequent illegality. At the time of making the offer was legal. Okay, but after that, the offer became illegal. Okay, the government made an announcement that it became illegal. So it automatically is a revocation of offer. Okay, after making an offer, it became illegal. At the time of making the offer, it was legal, but after making it, it becomes illegal. So it is automatically a revocation of offer. Okay. So question for you guys: an offer may lapse by dash, revocation, counter offer, rejection by the offeree, or all of these. Anuradha Yadav, I know why you are laughing. You are laughing because my girlfriend got married to another person. All. Okay. So everyone is going for D. The correct answer is D only. Next is a proposal when accepted becomes a dash. Promise, contract, acceptance, or offer. A proposal when accepted becomes a dash. It becomes a promise. Next question is, if A says to B, I offer to sell my house to you for rupees 10 lakh, and B accepts the offer by saying clearly I accept your offer. It is a dash offer. Implied, express, general, or none of the above. If A says to B, I offer to sell you my house for rupees 10 lakh, and B accepts the offer by saying clearly I accept your offer, it is a dash. Implied offer, express offer, general offer, or none of the above. Absolutely correct. It is B, express offer. Next is, when offer is made to a definite person, it is known as dash. General offer, counter offer, cross offer, special offer. When offer is made to a specific definite person, it is known as dash. General offer, counter offer, cross offer, special offer. Gaurav is saying how long would be today's session? Gaurav, it would precisely end at 5:30. Are you guys getting bored of the lecture? किस किस को मजा आ रहा है और समझ आ रहा है ये बता दो जल्दी से चैट बॉक्स में. When offer is made to a definite person, it is known as special offer. Nilesh, wrong answer, bro. Wrong answer. It is special offer, also known as specific offer. Okay, option D is correct. Next is a telephonic acceptance is complete when the offer is dash. Very easy, very important. You can use your common sense here. When it is spoken into the telephone, when it is heard but not understood by the offerer, when it is heard and understood by the offerer, it is received, heard and understood by some person in the offerer's house. A telephonic acceptance is complete when the offer is dash. Shom, there is no need to panic in yesterday's lecture. Actually, yesterday's lecture was, the topic was really vast. Okay, and there were some issues with the presentations also, the animation in the answers. Okay, the topic was really very vast yesterday, and that was quite new for you. This contract act has a lot of basic understanding. Okay, you can attempt the answer with your common sense also. Everyone wants to go for C. Absolutely correct. The C is the correct answer. Next is A agrees to pay rupees 1000 to B if a certain ship is returned within a year. However, the ship sinks within the year. In this case, the contract becomes dash valid, void, voidable, illegal. A agrees to pay rupees 1 lakh to B if a certain ship returns within a year. However, the ship sinks within the year. In this case, the contract becomes dash valid, void, voidable, illegal. Jashveer is asking, sir, when we will be starting with SECRA and Depositories Act. Jashveer, SECRA I shall not be doing it today because we are running short of time. We shall be doing Depository Act today, okay? And after the end of contract, we shall be starting with Depository. SECRA I shall be trying to do in the miscellaneous part day after tomorrow. Most of you are saying it should be B, and some are saying it should be C voidable. The correct answer is B, void. Okay, because however the ship sinks within this year. Okay, now there is impossibility of the contract. Okay, and once the contract becomes impossible, the performance is not possible, then it becomes void. Clear? Only one. Okay, Anuradha, Anupama, and Nilesh has written voidable. Okay, it is not voidable, it is void. And do not feel bad. Most of the students have a confusion between voidable and void contracts. Okay, so it is nothing new for you guys. Uh, just see the definition once again, and on the web you can search about 10-20 questions regarding void and voidable contract. Try to answer them, and your queries will be automatically resolved. Next topic is consideration. Okay, so what do you mean by consideration? Consideration is anything in return. If you are making a contract with me, what I am giving you back, that is my consideration. Consideration should be in money's worth. It should not always be in money, but it should have a value, and that should be in money's worth. Okay. Consideration must not be unlawful, immoral, or opposed to public policy. Consideration should not be unlawful. It should be legal consideration. It should not be immoral. Immoral means that your moral does not allow it. Okay, your moral does not allow it. Next is consideration may be past, present, or future. Consideration can be past also. You have done something for me in past, that can also be consideration. You are paying me something today, that can also be consideration, and you will be paying me in future, that can also be a consideration. Next is consideration can be absistence from doing something. Very important. Consideration can also be absistence from doing something. What happens is, uh, suppose I'm a doctor. Okay, I'm doing my practice in a particular area, and a new trainee doctor is also working with me as my assistant. Now, after working for the 5 years, he has got much expertise. Now, I ask him, he wants to open his own clinic nearby my clinic. Okay, so I ask him that I will be paying you 1 lakh rupees if you do not open your clinic in the 5 kilometer range from my clinic, because automatically if you open the clinic near my clinic, then automatically the patients will be distributed. Okay, so if I am paying him something, I am paying him 1 lakh rupees. Okay, that is for not doing something, that is not for opening his clinic near my clinic. Okay, so that is consideration can also be abstinence from doing something. Okay, my consideration is I am paying him 1 lakh rupees. His consideration is he is not doing a particular work. He is not opening his clinic near my clinic. Okay, so consideration can also be not doing a particular work. Many of the doctors, okay, they are also given non-practicing allowances in their jobs. That is, they should not open their own clinic. They should not do their own practice while working for an organization. So this is also a consideration. Next is consideration may move from promisee or any other person. Okay, consideration can, if you are providing me something. Okay, what happens is, okay, take an example. I am teaching you something. I am teaching you something. So there is an agreement between you and me. my consideration is I am providing you with the course. Your consideration will be you will be providing me money, the fees. So you can also give me the fees, or anyone else on your behalf can also give me the fees. Either you will be paying me the money, or your parents will be paying me the money. Okay. So consideration can be from your side, or it can also be from anyone on your behalf. Next is consideration need not be adequate. Very important. It is not necessary that consideration is adequate. Consideration can also be inadequate. Okay. What do you mean by inadequate consideration? Suppose I am going to sell you a property. The net worth of the value of the property, the market value is rupees 5 crore rupees. But I am going to sell you the property for rupees 50 lakhs. Okay. That is a very valid contract. That is a valid consideration. Okay. Now, normally it does not happen that I am selling you a property less than its market value. Okay. But if I am selling it according to my free will, with my free consent, I am selling you a property, okay, below the market value, then it does not matter. Consideration can be inadequate also. Consideration need not always be adequate. Next is it must move at the desire of the promisor. Okay, very important. It must move at the desire of the promisor. Okay, it should not be the case that the consideration is being paid. Okay, how it is being paid? Okay, without your knowledge. Without your knowledge. Okay, I should not pick your pocket. I should not take the money from your pocket without your knowledge. And once I get caught, I will be saying that I am taking my tuition fees from you. No, it should not be the case. Okay, consideration must move at the desire of the promisor. Clear? Next is, okay, this point has been repeated by mistake. Clear? A contract may only be enforceable when consideration is there. However, the Indian Contract Act contains certain exceptions to this rule. Okay, there are some general exceptions to the rule of consideration. Normally, it says that always there should be a consideration. When I've said the definition of contract, it was agreement plus legal enforceability, and in all agreements there should be a consideration. Okay, so contract should also have a consideration. Okay, but there are certain exceptions, and that exceptions have been written in section number 25 of the Indian Contract Act. Now, what are the specific consideration exceptions to the general rule? What are the specific exceptions to the rule? Guys, any doubt till here, you can write it to me. Priya, why are you dabbing? Section number 25. The section number is also important. So section number 25 contains some general exceptions. Okay, the general rule is that always for a contract there should be a consideration. Okay, but in some circumstances there need not be considerations. And what are the circumstances? One is natural love and affection. If my father is paying me something, if my father is doing something for me, okay, out of natural love and natural love and affection, okay, so that is a valid thing. That is a valid thing. Okay, if my father is doing a contract with me that he will be making me a partner in his organization, okay, so I'm not paying any consideration to him. He's doing it out of his natural love and affection. So that is a valid contract. Next is compensation for past voluntary services. Anything you have done in past, okay, and that was voluntarily. That was not you have done it from your own free will. Okay, for example, you have helped any person, okay, when he was poor. Now he's at that time you did it out of your free will. Okay, you did it out of your for your own satisfaction, something for your voluntary services. Okay, but after 20 years, he's paying you something. Okay, after 20 years, he became a very big industrialist, and now he wants to give you a job, or he wants to make you a partner in his firm. So that is also okay. That can also be done. Next is bailment. Bailment, very important concept. Sorry, bailment is a delivery of goods from one person to another for some purpose. When there is a bailment, okay, then also consideration need not be there. So I'll give you an example of bailment. Last week there was a marriage nearby my house. Okay, so there is no guest house available during this time. Okay, there is Corona time and nobody wants to go to guest houses. Okay, There was a marriage near my house, and there were a lot of guests in the marriage house. Now, the person in whose house the marriage was to be conducted, he came to my parents. He asked my parents that, can you give us your room? Can you give this room to us for this 2 3 days? My parents said, obviously, we are always there to help our neighbors. Okay, so this contract is a bailment contract. We have not sold the house to him. We have not given the house to him for rent. Okay, we have just given the goods. We have just made the these 2 rooms available for him for some particular purpose. This contract is known as contract of bailment. Another example I can give you: when you give your car to the mechanic or to the garage, okay, that is also a contract of bailment. Okay, because you're delivering the goods. Okay, the goods have been delivered from your side to another person for some particular purpose. For what purpose they have been given? For the purpose of, you can say, for the purpose of getting the issue fixed. Okay, another example of bailment. Okay, you might have heard about Zoom cars. Zoom, no, not Zoom, Droom cars. Okay, so what happens is you can rent your car. Okay, you can put your car on rent. So that is also an agreement of bailment. Next is promise to pay time bar debt. Very important. I've told you that in Limitation Act, okay, you cannot recover any money from anyone after 3 years. Okay, but the person, the debtor, he was a very nice person. He said that, okay, I will be paying you the money and giving you in writing, although the debt has been time barred. Okay, it has been more than 3 years. Now legally you cannot do any action on me, but after 3 years also the debtor gives in writing to you, okay, that I will be paying you the money, and he pays you the money. So that is also a valid consideration. Next is agency, a contract of agency. If I'm appointing someone as my agent, okay, then also this contract is without consideration. Then also it can be done. Next is completed gift. Okay, what is it? Completed gift. When I'm gifting someone to anyone, okay, and that person has accepted the gift. Okay, gift is without any particular consideration. I am making a gift to you. That does not mean that you will be making a gift to me. Okay. So if the gift has been done, a gift has been given to anyone, that is also a valid consideration. And last is charity. If I'm doing charity, I'm giving donation to anyone. Okay, that is also a valid consideration. Okay, in return of them, there is no nothing to be received. Okay, there is no consideration in return, but then also the contracts are valid. Anyone is having any doubt here? Anyone is having any doubt here? Ask me. Hurry up. Anyone is having any doubt here? Any doubt till here, guys? Agency. You are being appointed as an agent for someone. Okay, so that means there is a contract between the principal and agent. You might have seen that there are agents for companies. Okay, life insurance agents. Okay, so there is a contract between LIC and that particular person. So LIC has appointed that particular person as an agent. So there need not be any consideration from the agent side. Okay, when the agent was created, so LIC has done a contract with that agent. There need not be any consideration from the agent side or from LIC side. Why bailment is here? Okay, suppose the garage owner was my friend. Okay, I give him the car for repair. Okay, he did the repairs for the car. Okay, and he gave the car back to me. Now he has given the consideration. What was his consideration? He has provided me the services, but I have not given any consideration to him. So this is also a valid contract. नीचे think that compensation for past voluntarily service experience. Now you are a village person. Okay, leave it. Okay, what happens is now you are studying for SEBI examination. Okay. So you are saying, sir, you are teaching us for free on YouTube. So this is my voluntary service. Okay, this is a voluntary service. I am doing it at this time. So I am giving you something. Okay, you're not giving me something at this point of time. Now after 10 years, you become SEBI officers, and I say, sir, I ask you at that time that I require some help. I need some help from your own. Okay, and you help me out of your own funds. So that simply means that you are at that time the help that you are doing to me. Okay, that will be a valid consideration. That will be a valid contract. Okay, at that time I'm not paying you anything. I'm paying you now, and I'm paying you voluntarily at this point of time. So this is also a valid contract. No, Yashvil, you cannot call Section 25 a unilateral contract. No, unilateral contracts are those contracts in which a person uh, has to perform his duty. Out of the two parties, one person has to perform the duty. Okay. In this, if I'm making a gift to you, I'm giving you some gift. It is need not be a condition that you will be giving a gift to me. Or if I am giving charity to you, it need not be the condition that you will also give me the charity. प्रथमेश सिंह सब भूल गए हैं, रिवाइज करने बैठे तो अब वीडियो कंप्लीट नहीं होंगे, हाथ से गया लगता है एग्जाम. You need not see the videos again and again. You just need to revise the PDFs and the questions again. Next question, which of the following statement is false? Consideration must move at the desire of promisor, may move from any person, must be illusory, or must be of same value. So it must be of some value. Consideration dash A must move at the desire of promisor, B may move from any person, C must be illusory, D must be of some value. Hurry up guys, we are running short of time. We have to cover the Depository Act also today. The correct answer is C. Which of the following statement is false? Okay, so consideration must be illusory. This statement is false. Consideration should not be illusory. Consideration should have some value. Consideration may move from any person. It can be by you also. It can be by your representative also. And it should be at the desire of the promisor. It should not be that I am picking your pocket. I am taking money from your pocket without telling you. Okay. So consideration must be illusory. This is a false statement. Next is incompetence of a contract. I've told you the three persons they are incompetent. First is the minor, second is persons of unsound mind, and third is other disqualified persons. So first of all, we shall be studying about minor. If you are doing an agreement with a minor, that is void. Okay, that is void ab initio. Void ab initio means that is void from the very beginning. Second point, they are saying he cannot be a partner, but can be admitted to the benefits of partnership with the consent of all the partners. So the point, this point means to say that a minor can be a partner for profits only and not for losses. If all the other partners give their consent, a minor can be a partner in a firm, but he can be a partner only for the benefits, not for the losses. Next is, he can always plead minority and cannot be asked to compensate for any benefit received under a void agreement. So I have told you that an agreement with the minor is always invalid. Okay, so once you have done an agreement with the minor, okay, here's a benefit. He can always plead minority. He can always say in the courts that I am a minor, this person has done an agreement with me, and there will be no liability of the minor. Okay, because it is a duty of the other person to be informed that that other person is a minor or a major. Okay, minor can always plead minority. He can never be asked to compensate any person for the losses. Next is, under circumstances, a guardian can enter into a valid contract on behalf of minor. Sometimes what happens is a guardian of a person, okay, a guardian can be his parents or anyone else. They will be have to be major, okay. A major guardian can enter into a contract on behalf of the minor. Minor cannot ratify a contract on attaining majority. Very important. Suppose what happens is you were of 17 years, okay, and you have done a contract with a particular person. Now nobody came to know about it. at acquiring after you are acquired the age of 18 now, and now you want to ratify that agreement. Okay, you ratify means you are saying that okay, that agreement that I did at the time of minority, and I'm saying it now, I'm giving it in writing that I'm ratifying it, I'm verifying it that that is absolutely correct. So you cannot do that. Okay, on attaining majority you cannot ratify a previous agreement. What you have to do is you have to sign a new agreement after attaining majority. Okay, you cannot ratify a previous agreement. Clear? Next is about person of unsound mind. Person of unsound mind like idiot, lunatics, drunkard, they cannot enter into a contract, but a lunatic can enter into a valid contract when he is of sound mind. Okay, so person who are mad, lunatic, or they are drunkards or they are idiots. Okay, idiots mean mad only. Okay, so they cannot enter into a contract, but when at the time of making the contract, the person was not lunatic or the person was not in a drinking position. Okay, he was not a drunkard. Okay, at that time he was of sound mind, so he can make a valid contract. At the time of making the contract, if he was of sound mind, okay, and he was not drunk, so that contract will be valid. Otherwise, the contract will be invalid. Next is disqualified person. The following person shall fall in the category foreign sovereigns and ambassadors. So, Government of India has said that you cannot make an agreement with the foreign ambassadors, foreign sovereigns. Then alien enemy. Alien enemy means if there is a war of any country with India, okay, so you cannot make a contract with that particular person. Next is corporation. You cannot have a contract with any corporation. Government has specifically barred it. Insolvent person, the person who are bankrupt, you cannot have a contract with them. And convicts, a person who is convicted in any court case, okay, you cannot make a contract with him since he is an incompetent person. Okay, any contract made with this person will be invalid. Next question is ordinarily a minus agreement is dash void ab initio, voidable, valid, or unlawful. Ordinarily a minus agreement will be dash void ab initio, voidable, valid, unlawful. Yes, it is A, absolutely correct. A minus agreement is void ab initio. The next topic is free consent. So consent is not free when it is caused by coercion, undue influence, fraud or misrepresentation of facts or mistake. Okay. So what do you mean by coercion? Coercion means by force. Okay, by force or by blackmail. If an agreement is done by this is coercion. Okay. Next is undue influence. Undue influence is your parents are having an undue influence on you. Okay. Or your boss is having an undue influence on you. Undue influence means that having an influencing someone to do something wrong. Okay, for example, you are an employee in a particular organization, and the board of directors, your senior management, they are asking you to do something wrong. Okay, that means your consent is not free at that time. They are pressurizing you for something. That is undue influence. Next is fraud and misrepresentation of fact. Someone has misrepresented the facts to you, or he is doing fraud, he is hiding some facts from you, or he is giving you wrong facts. Okay, then also the consent is not free. And last is mistake. Now mistake can be of two types: mistake of law or mistake of facts. Mistake of facts is by mistake you misunderstood the facts. Second is by mistake your interpretation of the law was wrong. Okay, for example, I've told you that many of the students are giving wrong answers. At some point the agreement was valid, but many students thought it was void. Okay, so that is a mistake of law. You're interpreting the law wrong. Okay, a mistake of fact means there was a proper point, but you read it wrong, or the other person wrote it wrong. It was to be put as 1 lakh rupees. Suppose we are doing an agreement. Okay, so you made an agreement, you gave me a paper in writing that I want to buy your house for 10 lakh. Okay, but by mistake you put 1 lakh in place of 10 lakh. Okay, so that is a mistake of fact. Clear? Now, under the first three, the contract is voidable. Okay, under the first three, the contract is voidable. I have told you when there is a lack of free consent, the contract is voidable. But under the last point, under mistake, the contract is absolutely void. The contract is absolutely void. Either it is misrepresentation of fact or misrepresentation of law. If it is proved that there was a mistake, contract is void. Clear? Now, two types of contracts: contingent contracts and wagering agreements. Contingent contracts are the contracts which are conditional on some future event happening or not happening and are enforceable when the future event or loss occurs. Example: A makes a contract with B to buy his house for rupees 5 lakh. If he is able to secure a bank loan for that amount, the contract is a contingent contract. Contingent contracts are always valid. But there's a difference between contingent contract and wagering agreement. Wagering agreement is a promise to give money or money worth with reference to an uncertain event happening or not happening. A wagering contract is a game losing and gaining alone matters. Example: betting on cricket matches by bookies. A wagering agreement is void. First of all, the difference between contingent contract and wagering is contingent contract is always valid and wagering is always void. What happens in contingent? Contingent contract, okay, these are the contracts which are conditional on any future event. Okay, what is the future event? If this happens, then this will be happening. Okay, if that event happens, now that event is unsure. That can happen also, that cannot happen also. So if this will happen, then the other person would do that. That is a contingent contract. There is no absolute surety about that event of happening. For example, there is a example is A makes a contract to B to buy his house for rupees 5 lakh if B is able to secure a to bank loan for that amount. I am saying to another person that I will be buying your house for rupees 5 lakh if you can avail a loan for me for rupees 5 lakh. Now it depends upon condition that B will be availing the loan for me or not. Okay, will be getting a loan or not. Okay, so this is a contingent contract. There is no absolute surety. But in wagering agreement, what happens is, suppose two persons are making a bet, okay, that on next ball, uh, either it would be an out or either it would be a sixer. Okay, there are only two chances, or we can make, we are just making a toss. Okay, either it would be head or either it would be toss. So both the conditions, either of the two will happen. Either of the two will happen. The event is uncertain. There is a probability. Either first can happen, either second can happen, but either of the two will happen. And both the person have made a bet on that. So that is a wagering agreement. In India, wagering agreement is void, but contingent contracts are valid. Clear? Contingent contracts are valid and wagering agreement is void. Last topic for Contract Act, doctrine of privity of contract is, okay. So the doctrine of privity of contract is law principle which implies that only parties to a contract are allowed to sue each other to enforce their rights and liabilities, and no stranger is allowed to confer obligations upon any person who is not a party to a contract, even though contract have been entered into for his benefit. Okay. So the example is, you and I have made a contract. Okay. You and I made a contract. What was the contract? That I will be uh, providing some benefit to a third person. You and I made a contract that I will be providing benefit to a third person. Now, if any of us do not perform the function, okay, so either I'm not performing the function, so you have a right, you can sue me, you can take me to court, okay. But does the third party have a right to sue me? No, the third party has do not have any right. Even though the third party to whom the benefit is to be provided, even that person does not have a right to sue me. That person cannot take me to court. Okay, so doctrine of privity of contract means that strangers to a contract cannot sue any person. Strangers to a contract cannot sue the party. Clear? So a question for you. The threat to commit suicide is dash: coercion, fraud, undue influence or misrepresentation. Hurry up guys, we are running short of time. We have to cover Depository Act also today. Use your mind guys. The threat to commit suicide. I'll use the exact word. It is basically a blackmail. It is absolutely a coercion. Undue influence is you're pressurizing someone. Okay, you're pressurizing the other person. Okay, to whom you are a superior party. To whom you are a superior party. Okay, you have an influence on him, but you are exercising your influence. So that is undue influence. Coercion is you're blackmailing someone, or you are putting a gunpoint. You're putting him on a gunpoint, and then you are making him do any particular thing. That is coercion. Next is moral pressure is involved in case of dash. Moral pressure is involved in case of dash. Coercion, fraud, undue influence, or misrepresentation. Moral pressure or societal pressure, you can say. Moral pressure can also be that you two, three are friends, and one has committed a crime, and two are supporting him. He has asked for help from them two, and you both are supporting him under moral pressure. Absolutely correct. No, misrepresentation and mistake are not the same. Mistake is either mistake of law or mistake of fact, and misrepresentation is the other party is deliberately. Okay, the other party is a wrong representation when made without any intention to deceive the other party amounts to dash. Coercion, fraud, undue influence, or misrepresentation. Clear? D. Misrepresentation is the correct answer. So out of the options available, okay, the best way to do is the technique of elimination. Am I clear to you guys? Next is an agreement to pay money or money's worth on the happening or non-happening of a specified uncertain event is dash. An agreement to pay money or money's worth on the happening or non-happening of a specified uncertain event is a dash. Waging agreement, contingent, quasi or uncertain. Misrepresentation is voidable. So you guys are confused between A and B. Okay. These are exact language of waging and contingent. I have explained it to you there also. Okay guys. So it is a waging agreement. Waging is basically when you are paying money or money's worth on the happening or non-happening of a specified uncertain event. If it would happen, then one party will pay. If it would not happen, then other party will pay. That's what happens in betting. So it is a waging agreement. Next is in which of the following cases aggrieved party can sue for damages: fraud, mistake, undue influence, and misrepresentation. Some questions I have asked you that I have not covered also. I can assume that you can do it from your own knowledge. We are running short of time. We are having only 15 20 minutes. We have to cover the other act also, guys. Hurry up. I want your active responses, guys. I'm teaching you from the last approximately 2 hours. I think I'm quite active, but you guys are giving me passive replies. The correct answer is A, fraud. Okay. Aggrieved party can sue for damages for fraud. Okay, because we can all see that fraud is deliberate. You are having the intention to fraud other persons. Okay. Next is a threat to kidnap one son in consideration of rupees 5 lakh is void because of dash. A person is threatening the other person, okay, that I will kidnap your son, okay, in consideration for rupees 5 lakh is void because of inadequacy of consideration, incompetence of parties, absence of free consent, or all of the above. Those who are saying it should be A are absolutely wrong. How can it would be inadequacy of consideration? Inadequacy means the consideration is not sufficient. If I am saying that I'll kidnap your son, you pay me 5 lakh rupees. You are saying it is inadequate consideration. The consideration should be 10 lakh. The correct answer is C, absence of free consent. Next is insurance contract is a contract of dash. Very easy question, very basic question. Insurance contract is a contract of dash. Indemnity, agency, contingency or surety. Insurance contract is a contract of indemnity, agency, contingency or surety. Insurance contract is a contract of dash. Okay, the correct answer is A. What do you mean by indemnity contract or contract of indemnity? Indemnity means to make good your losses. Okay, that means to cover your losses. In insurance contract, what happens is I am doing a contract with an insurance company that if there is any chance of any risk, they are covering the risk. Indemnity means the same thing. Indemnity contract means the contract for covering your losses or for covering the risk. Okay, that is the contract of indemnity. Clear? So the answer should be option number A. So that was all about the Indian Contract Act. Now we shall be commencing the Depository Act. I'm giving you 2 minutes break. Okay, I'm giving you 2 minutes break, guys. And after that, we shall be starting with Depository Act. Depository Act will require you 20 minutes maximum. And one of the most important acts in the previous syllabus. Okay, when the syllabus was not changed, Depository Act questions were asked in the examination. Okay, and SEBI and depositories are quite interlinked. I'm giving you 2 minutes. If you want to drink water or and do anything, okay, you can take a 2 minute break and then we shall be commencing with Depository Act. So guys, we are back. If you can hear me again, if you can see me properly, type yes in the chat box. Can you see me? Yes. We are starting with Depositories Act 1996. So before SEBI introduced dematerialization, so how the transaction used to happen about purchasing the shares. Suppose this is Reliance India and these are the investors. Now these investors they want to buy the shares of Reliance. Okay, I'm not talking about just shares. I'm talking about all the securities. So before SEBI introduced dematerialization, they want to buy the shares. They will buy the securities from companies by paying the money, and in return, Reliance will issue their physical share certificates. Okay, Reliance will give their physical share certificates to them. Now, as per the Depositories Act, they have said that securities will be in dematerialized form only. The SEBI has also said, the company letter also said, okay, about the dematerialization of securities. So now they are saying that we should not be giving shares in physical form, in paper form, but shares will be in digital form. So how the transactions are affected these days? First of all, some basic terminology. What do you mean by depository? First of all, depository is a company formed under Companies Act and which has been granted a certificate of registration by the Securities and Exchange Board of India Act. Okay, so depository is basically an intermediate between the company and the you can say between the investors. Okay, depositories act as a custodian of the shares of the issuer uh, of the investors. Okay, now you are not being given physical shares, you are given shares in a digital format. Now this digital format shares will be kept with the depository. Clear? And one more term is a depository participant. It means a person registered under section 12 of SEBI Act. Okay, and depository participants are the agents of a depository such as NSDL and CDSL. So there are two depositories in India. One is National Securities Depository Limited (NSDL), and second is CDSL, Central Central Depository Services Limited. Okay, and these two depositories are having depository participants. Now, what are the depository participants? Mutual fund companies, the banks. Okay, these are depository participants. So the investors, if they want to deal with depository, they cannot do it directly. They can do it through the depository participant only. So these days, how the transactions are affected? This is Reliance India company, and these are the investors. Now, this is the depository. Okay, the NSDL is a depository, and this is a depository participant, the HDFC Bank. I'm taking the example. Now, these investors, if they have to deal with the depository, they can only deal through a depository participant. Okay, DP stands for depository participant. Clear? Now, what is a depository participant? They are basically the agent of NSDL or any depository. A depository shall enter into an agreement with one or more participants as its agent. There will be an agreement between depository and the depository participant, and the depository participant shall act as an agent of the depository. Now, Reliance Industry, the company, the issuing company, they will be issuing the shares to the depositories. Now, the shares are kept by the depository as a custodian. So, in the books of Reliance India, okay, in the books of the company, the registered owner of the shares is the depository. Who is the registered owner? Because in the books of Reliance India company, the name of the name of the shareholders, the name of the registered owners is the depository. Okay, the investors' names are not recorded in the books of the company. The investors' names are recorded by depository. Very important. See guys, what happens is normally there are a lot of transaction of shares on daily basis. You can say lakhs and crores of shares are being sold on the market. Okay, so it would be very hectic for the companies to record the sale and purchase. Every day there are new members added. Every day there are members are selling the shares or securities. So it will become a lot of hectic work for the companies. So to facilitate this and for ease of work, what they have done is they will be selling the shares to the depository. They will be writing the name of the depository as the registered owner of the securities. Okay, and depository will be writing the names of the investors. Okay, as the beneficial owner. Okay, so who is the registered owner of the shares? NSDL of the depository. And who is the beneficial owner? The investors. The investor will be getting all the benefits regarding the shares, the voting rights, the dividend rights, the right issue. Okay, every benefit will be given to investors. So they are the beneficial owners. Okay, but on papers, on records, who is the registered owner? The depository. Clear? Investors will be the beneficial owners of the shares in books of depository. For transfer of shares, investors should inform depository. If the shareholder, okay, they want to transfer the shares, they will be telling it to the depository. And how they shall be telling it? Through depository participant. The voting rights, dividend rights, and all rights and liabilities will be a beneficial owner and not depository. These will be getting the dividend rights, the voting rights, all the liabilities. Depository will have no rights on the shares. They will just act as a custodian. And a beneficial owner can pledge the securities. Pledge means mortgage the securities, okay, or hypothecate the securities with prior approval of depository. If they want to pledge the securities, if they want to hypothecate the securities, they can do it only by the prior approval of depository. So this is the entire mechanism. Okay, Depository Act has specified this entire mechanism from section number, I guess, 3 to section number 15. In this particular slide, I have given you the entire crux. Clear? If you are having any doubt in this particular slide, please ask me. I have given you the entire crux of the sections, the important section of Depositories Act in this particular slide. Okay. And if you haven't liked the video now, for this particular slide, I have dedicated 2 hours. Okay, so please like the video for this particular slide. Moving on, some very basic concept of Depositories Act. One is Depositories Act 1996 initially came into force as an ordinance, the Depository Ordinance 1995. This act extends to the whole of India. It is applicable to whole of India, and it should be deemed to have come into force on 20th September 1995. The important dates. Next is Depositories Act 1996 provides for a legal framework for establishment of depositories to facilitate holding of securities, including shares in a demat form. But why the Depositories Act was came into India? It provides a legal framework. Okay, that how the securities will be dealt. Okay, it has to be dealt in the demat form. Demat means dematerialized form. Okay, in the digital forms. So how they will be dealt and how to facilitate the holding of securities. Entire thing is told in the Depositories Act. Next is every depository is required to be registered under the SEBI, okay, and will have to obtain a certificate of commencement of business. Without the certificate for commencement of business, a depository cannot start their operations. Okay. Clearing, very important term. Clearing is the process of identifying what is owed to the buyer and seller in a trading transaction. Okay, on a day-to-day basis, a lot of person are buying, a lot of person are selling. So it is the duty of the clearing corporations. Okay, basically the duty belongs to SEBI. Now SEBI and depositories. Now they have appointed clearing corporations also. Clearing corporation, the main task is, okay, the main task is the clearing. What do you mean by clearing? Rajiv Kumar is saying, sir, audio problem. What exactly is the problem, Rajiv? It is the duty of the clearing corporation. Now SEBI or SEBI. Is anyone else also facing the audio problems? Okay, clearing is basically the process of identifying what is owed to the buyer and seller in a trading transaction. To identify that how much we have to pay to the buyer, how many shares he has purchased, how much we owe to the seller, the entire thing is known as clearing. And once you have done the clearing, the next step is settlement. Okay, the mechanism of settling obligations of counterparties in a trade. Suppose I have bought 2 shares, okay, and I have sold 1 share. The first task will be of clearing. Okay, to identify how much I have bought, how much I have received. Next is settlement. Okay, to settle a transaction. Settlement means settling the objections, settling in the obligations, giving shares to me, taking money from me. That is the settlement process. Next is the National Securities Clearing Corporation Limited is the clearing corporation for NSE, and the Indian Clearing Corporation Limited is clearing corporation for BSE. These are the 2 important clearing corporations. The National Securities Clearing Corporation Limited, it is for the National Stock Exchange, and Indian Clearing Corporation Limited is for the Bombay Stock Exchange. There are two depositories in India, NSDL and CDSL. The full form is given here. One more thing, rematerialization. You have the power, you can convert your digital securities back into physical securities also. You have the power to that. Okay. So rematerialization is a process of converting securities from demat form to physical form. If you can apply to the depositories that you want the physical share certificate, so they will allow you to convert your securities from demat to physical form. Then is registrar or transfer agents. One more definition is given. This definition is for RTA. RTA full form is registrar or transfer agents. They are basically the intermediaries between the depositories and the companies. So registrar or transfer agents are the trusts or institutions that register and maintain detailed records of the transactions of investors for the convenience of mutual fund houses. Okay. So normally the company hires the registrar or transfer agents to deal with the depositories. One example of RTA is given Carvi. Carvi company, you might have heard about it. Carvi is a registrar or transfer agent. Their role also extends to providing information to investors about new offers, maturity dates, and all other investor-friendly information at one place. Okay, so all the information the investor wants to seek, all the new offers, all the maturity dates, all the reminders are given by RTAs. Okay, so these were some basic points regarding Depositories Act. Now, question for you. First of all, process of conversion of physical share certificates into electronic form is known as what name in security market parlance? Dematification, demutualization, dematerialization or digitalization. We have to end this video by 5:40 maximum. Okay. We have already crossed the deadline. It had to be summarized by 5:30, but it's 5:35 already. Hurry up, guys. Option number C correct. It is dematerialization. Next question. For depository to function smoothly, it takes help of various depository participants by making an agreement as per the Act. Which of the following is correct in this context? The agreement between them shall be as per the bylaws of depository. A depository shall enter into an agreement with one or more participants as its agent. A depository shall enter into an agreement with one or more participants as a subsidiary. A and B or A and C. Hurry up, guys, quick answers. D, absolutely correct. A and B are correct. Okay, so D is the correct answer here. Next is, once the security is converted into digital form, it is registered with the depository. Depository becomes the registered owner of it, and by what name actual owner is called? Demat owner, permanent owner, beneficial owner, or original owner? Yes, the answer is C, beneficial owner. Next question. Which of the following are true statements related to participants of stock market? NSCCL is a clearing house for NSE. Functions of clearing houses have been transferred to clearing corporation. Investors can trade in the secondary markets through broker using demat account. Stock exchange facilitates trading of stocks among shareholders and between company and shareholders, or all of the above. All absolutely E is correct. E is correct. Here I have told you NSCCL is the clearing house for NSE. So obviously A is to be correct. Okay. I have told you clearing house's function have been transferred to clearing corporation. That is also correct. Can D point is also correct. Only C I have not taught you. But if the option is all of the above, so absolutely E will be the correct answer. Okay, because 3 points are correct here. Next is, which of the below statements related to dematerialization process is valid? I have not told you the dematerialization process, but with the help of this particular question, you can easily answer it. This is a bit of a trick question. Okay. For this question, I'm telling you one important point. D is the correct answer. A and C. B is the wrong answer. Why B is not correct? Because B is the process for transfer of shares. Okay, when one person is transferring the share, so he will give the certificate of security to the depository. Depository will cancel the certificate of security and substitute the records. Okay, if I am transferring my share certificates to you, okay, so I'll inform the depository. Depository will cancel my name from the names of the owner, and it will enter your name here. So the B point is for the transfer of securities. A and C is for the dematerialization process. Clear? Next is, what do you mean by surrender of certificate of security by the owner as related to Depositories Act? Selling those shares at the face value by surrendering the certificate of security, surrendering those shares in order to obtain the shares in an electronic format, surrendering those shares for whom there is no conversion into electronic format possible, or all of the above. What do you mean by surrender of certificate of security? What do you mean by surrender of certificate of security? The correct answer is option number B. Surrender of certificate means you are surrendering the physical certificate. Okay, you are giving the physical certificate to obtain the electronic certificate. Okay, or getting your shares in the dematerialized form. So B is the correct answer. D is not the correct answer here, guys. B is the correct answer. Clear? Next is, when seller sells some security to buyer, what information ultimately changes in depository record concerned with the sold security? Name of registered owner of the security changes, name of beneficial owner of the security changes, name of seller changes, or both A and B changes. The correct answer is name of beneficial owner of the security changes. Next is Section 9 of Depository Act 1996 mandates securities in depositories to be in which of the following form? Physical form, demat form, fungible form, or liquid form? This is a new question for you. The securities as per Section 9 should be in which format? Physical, demat, fungible, liquid. So I hope you shall all be answering wrong for this question. Section 9 says it should be in fungible form. Okay, not in demat form. Section 9 is for fungible form. What do you mean by fungible? A financial instrument is considered fungible if it can be bought or sold on one market or exchange and then sold or bought in another market. Fungible means which can be bought or sold in different markets. Okay, so section 9 means that it can be sold or bought in any of the market. Okay, so the correct answer is C here. I'm telling you this information, okay? You just need to remember the section number and this particular point. So section 9 says that securities should be dealt and purchased in more than one stock market. What is the full form of CDSL? Central Depository Service Limited, Central Demat Service Limited, Central Depository Subsidiary Limited, or Central Demat Subsidiary Limited? The correct answer is option number A. CDSL stands for Central Depository Service Limited. Next is, can a security holder mortgage its securities to get home loan? Can security holder mortgage its securities to get home loan? The answer is yes, he can do it, but prior approval of depository is required. I've told you in basics point, he can get his securities mortgaged, but with prior approval of depositories. Next is which are the areas under SEBI, under which SEBI can make regulation as per Depositories Act. Format of records to be maintained, manner in which certificate shall be surrendered, eligibility criteria for admission of securities to depository, or all. So everyone know this answer. I hope nobody will give wrong answer for this. All of the above is correct. Last question. What do you mean by ICIN number? What is the full form of ICIN? International Services Identification Number or Indian Securities Identification Number? And is it a 12-digit number or a 10-digit number? So ICIN is basically a specific number for your securities, and ICIN number is a 12-digit alphanumeric identification number, and the full form is International Services Identification Number. Okay. So guys, that was all for this video. Okay. I hope you understood it. I hope you do not have any doubt regarding Contract Act and your Depositories Act. So if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and in tomorrow's lecture, we are going to cover partnership and joint venture. So I would like more and more people to join. Yesterday I could see there were a lot of people, but in today's lecture, I hope you enjoyed it, you liked it, but I do not know the reason why there were only 40-45 students in today's lecture. So I hope tomorrow you will be sharing this video with your friends, and you will be giving a reminder to your friends also to come and join the session. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. All the best. Bye bye. Please share your feedback with us. Okay, our email ID is hello@edutap.co.in. You also have our phone number in the description box. Do check out our other courses also. Bye bye.